welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. All right, this week we are doing a request. We're doing a dinosaur painting today. We're going to keep it really simple for audiences and dinosaur enthusiasts of all ages. I'm going to use my 4 standard brushes in this class like I use in most of my classes. So this is a kit that comes with 4 sizes. Your brushes don't need to be the exact same size and shape as mine, but they should be the same general size and shape. I have a 3/4 inch wash brush and 3 pointed brushes of varying sizes. So I have a size 10, a size 3, and a size 3/0 little tiny brush. Don't always use this guy, but good to have on hand for those tiny details. We're starting really simple with today's background, as simple as we can get really with just a 2-color gradation. I'm going to be using some cadmium yellow and a little bit of my favorite phthalo green. So pretty. I also have a fair amount of white on my piece of palette paper here. And to see a full materials list of everything that you need to paint along, check the description box below. You'll find a link to the materials page on my website, and that will show you everything that I use and recommend. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in with our background step, and we're keeping it as simple as can be today, folks, with a beautiful green gradation into a yellow. I'm just going to start by mixing up a beautiful yellow-green, taking some of the blue tones out of that phthalo green, which is my favorite, but that's an aqua color. So we're using some yellow to counteract that blue and create a nice true grassy green. Plenty of water on my piece of palette paper. I'm using canvas board today. The way that I use acrylic paints is what is meant to go on canvas. So I do use water. That's how things are going nice and smooth. And we can use plenty of paint as well and not worry about it being too heavy bodied. Acrylic paint really likes canvas. All right, let's grab a little more yellow. And we're gonna put that color right underneath our green. We're gonna come in there and blend. Don't be shy. Again, that nice heavy body canvas can totally handle it. Lots of working those 2 colors together. We don't necessarily want stripes. We're practicing our gradation here. And we're gonna work our way down to yellow once we get down to the bottom by adding little bits of yellow as we go and getting that section blended into this section above it. Long brush strokes all the way off the side of the canvas. Very nice blending practice today. All right. Beautiful. Working our way even further down. Going to come in now with just some yellow and white. I'm gonna go pretty much all the way down to the bottom, but we don't have to cover that last tiny little 1/2 inch if we don't want to, since we're going to have the ground there at the base. So that's gonna be covered with black in the next step, so I'm just gonna leave it and focus on the area above that bottom strip. All right, and that is our whole background step for today's painting. So just work on getting your gradation from green to yellow, all the way almost to the bottom. Long brush strokes going all the way off the canvas, getting in there, and blending, blending, blending. Okay, and then once it looks good, remember there's no such thing as perfection, but if it looks good, then it's good enough is what I like to say. And we're gonna step away and let this layer dry 100% and come back and add all of our gorgeous dino details. All right, I'll see everyone in a few. All right, welcome back. We have a completely dry background and new colors on a fresh piece of palette paper. I have some purple, aka violet, as well as some black and white. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump right back on into things. I'm going to grab my medium-sized brush and we're going to do a mid-layer before we start adding our dino silhouettes and our ground and grasses. So let's mix up a couple different tones of purple here. And I'm going to grab my purple, bring it up to my white, and mix up a sort of medium light purple color. And I'm going to just add some mountains in the back, just for fun, and for a little bit of something to look at. With my light purple. I'm just filling that in with my light purple color with that same brush that I used to create the shape. A little bit of water always added into the paint. Okay. Then I'm going to mix up a darker purple. I'm going to do a little front mountain, and I want to still have a little peekaboo of yellow. The yellow right next to the purple, those are complementary colors. So those should look really nice next to each other and provide some really nice contrast. I love the look of purple and green too. Huge fan of that color combination. If you'd like to learn more about complementary colors, as well as how to mix colors, I have a course specifically on color theory for my students who have maybe not had that in a long time, need a refresher course, or many of my students have never had a color theory course, and that's really helpful foundational knowledge for your whole art journey. So you can check that out on Skillshare, which I have a link below that will let you do that for free. You sign up through my link, you'll get a free month. And you can also check out other things on Skillshare too, working on adding more courses there for us. But that is also available for my members. My members get access to all of my supplemental tutorials, which right now is just a couple intermediate classes as well as color theory, but again, working on getting some more creative for everyone in the coming months, so stay tuned. And thank you so much if you are a member. I really appreciate your support, and it helps me keep these videos coming. So I have two mountains here, the light purple and the dark purple, and now I'm ready to start adding some silhouettes. So let's start with the bottom, and a little bit of a gap there. So I'm just gonna go right across the bottom, making it a little bit kind of random. And why not just go up on the side there to cover my purple. Very nice. Now I'm going to let that area dry for a minute. And we're gonna go up into the sky. We're gonna add our pterodactyl first. So I looked up my dinosaur times to make sure I was getting the right ones. So we're gonna do a pterodactyl, which have always been one of my favorites, and also I think one of the scariest types of dinosaurs because they're flying and carnivorous. And then we're gonna do a nice plant eater, herbivorous dinosaur, which is the Allosaurus. But we're gonna let this area dry for just a minute before we go and add the Allosaurus. So let's start first up in the sky with our terrifying pterodactyl. And this shape reminds me a lot of adding bats. So I have a couple paintings, I believe. I know I have at least one that has bats, and the wingspan honestly looks really similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna come up here in this right-hand corner, and I'm gonna do one little curved line like so. And then another curved line out. Sort of like almost like a wave shape. Then I'm gonna come all the way up here and do the same thing. Okay, and then this part, this is the front part of the wing. I'm gonna go have a little swoop here. And then the bottom, we're gonna have legs like so. So again, that looks so much like a bat to me. He doesn't have a head yet, so don't panic. I know, we're gonna add it. And I always start small, and I always like to practice my shapes before I add them onto my canvas. Which I probably should have said a few minutes ago. Okay, and then the head shape, I'm gonna have like a snout and connected to the neck and like a little oval shape with a cool hairdo. Okay, and then we're gonna fill it in and sort of adjust things as needed. They have a really long face. Very scary. And I think this wing needs to be longer. Okay. Looks pretty good. We're gonna go with it. Such an odd creature. I love watching fantasy shows. So I love things about dragons. And you gotta tell me, can't deny that that is arguably a type of dragon. I think it's crazy that dinosaurs even existed. Can't imagine Dino Planet. How scary and also super cool. All right, we're gonna add some greenery now, or I guess what will just be silhouette. And I think his snout looks pretty good, but let me just finesse things a little bit. And then same brush, gonna come into the base here and start adding some grass. That's just a nice little super easy detail, and I'm moving my brush in all different directions to try to get nice random brush strokes for the grass. I thought about adding like ferns or another Jurassic era plant, but since our Allosaurus is so big, these maybe are ferns and we just can't see the details. So just little swipes of black is all we need over here. And I'm gonna have a little couple tufts of grass over on this side, but that's also where our big dino is gonna be in just a minute. So I'm mainly working over here. And now we are ready to add our big dino as our final element of today's painting. Okay. Working a little bit more again on my pterodactyl. I don't want him to look too much like a bat either, even though they do look similar. He's not a bat. Big wingspan. All right, for our Allosaurus, the shape that I like to start with is going to be like a teardrop shape. I'm going to come kind of right in between my mountains, leaving some space, of course, for his big legs. And this is sort of a teardrop shape, and then it's going to come up. We're going to do a little curved tail. I was just thinking when I was painting this, how heavy that tail must be for this dinosaur to be able to keep it up like that. So much muscle, probably, in a big tail, and probably nice for balance for such a big dino. Okay, so we have our teardrop shape. And then from the front here, going to come up and have a little head shape. Almost looks like a bird, which is fitting. And I'm going to do a little snout shape, again, very bird-like. Come back and thicken up the neck. And then the Allosaurus in particular has a little domed head. And then for the leg shapes, come from the back here and do a little triangular shape for the back leg. And then one that comes a little more straight. Those are probably too skinny. Don't want a skinny-legged dinosaur. And the front leg would be even less skinny since it's a little bit closer to us. Okay. And mimicking that same curve, bend in the leg, we'll have two front legs as well. Only just working with black today, keeping it simple with our silhouette. Have a little bit of peekaboo there for the legs, in between them. A little bit of purple still can see through. And then as you fill in your shape, you can make any adjustments that you might need to your dino. That's pretty simple. I think he needs a bigger dome on his head. Okay. Pretty simple and hopefully fun tutorial for today. You can add any other final touches that you like on your painting. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more greenery. Silhouette. I'll just have a little bit more water. If you are painting along today, I would love to see your work. And I've created a Facebook group called the Art Club, specifically for my students to share their work with me and the other students that are taking the class. It doesn't have to be what you paint when you paint along with me either. You can paint and share whatever you got going on in the art club, any kind of art even. And that is free to join, and again, there's a link in the description box below for more information. Just take you right over to Facebook. You just have to have a Facebook. Since we can't share photos here on YouTube, I figured would be a good way, and it has grown quite significantly, but there's 3,500 of us over there. So please join the fun and join us over in the art club. All right, we're keeping it simple today and calling it good. So hopefully you enjoyed today's painting tutorial. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments section below, and let me know some other ideas on what you'd like to paint, since this was a request. I take requests. All right, so thank you so much for painting along with me today. Don't forget to join us over in the art club and check out Color Theory 101 on Skillshare. I am also now offering live sessions courses as well as one-on-one consultations. So check that out as well. And that's all I have for us today. So thank you so much for painting along, and until next time.